The World Cup second round is looming in the air. I don't even know what this World Cup second round thing is or what this type of structure is. I believe the 2026 World Cup definitely won't be like this, but the game has had for me something new. Still looked for it, done the research, and never understood where this came from. And for us in this second round, we were in Group F, so we are facing the team which finished first, second in Group E, and that one I believe was Ukraine in that similar group. So we in our second round World Cup we are facing Ukraine, and chance for us to make it to the third round, and then the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals, and then the finals. So since this one, I want to make this one a really good triple header if we manage to make it that far. Planning to play the second round because if you come into the World Cup section and look at the rules, we have the second round, the third round, the quarterfinal, semi-final, third place, and final. So the triple header I'm planning to do is for the second round, the third round, and if we do make it to the quarterfinals, that quarterfinal place. Wherever the journey will end is where this game will end with us suddenly, as unfortunately, but I wish, and I really wish to make it as far as the finals, and bring that glory down to England, to the English clubs or the English country. So for us, as we are facing Ukraine in the second round, it's time we look at maybe a few surprises that we may have had in the group stages, because the World Cup is always good at having surprises. It's never nothing much compared to that. It's always really good in terms of surprises, and let's see if there were any. So if you check out all the groups, USA and Cameroon made it through group one. North Ireland were locked out. Brazil and Australia made it through. New Zealand lost both of their matches, so they didn't make it through. Croatia and Mexico in group C. Ivory Coast were knocked out. Ireland, Uruguay in group D. And then for Group E, we had Argentina, Ukraine, of which we are facing Ukraine, and Argentina are facing Jamaica. We managed to knock out Congo, even though they finished on 1 point. It was just the goal difference. In Group G, we have Ecuador and Germany. Saudi Arabia were knocked out. And then in Group H, we had France and Australia. Honduras were knocked out. Poland, Canada in Group I. Paraguay were knocked out. Group J, Holland, Colombia, China were knocked out, not winning any match. Spain, DR Congo in Group K, Iran were knocked out. Nigeria and Italy. Italy made it even though they lost to Nigeria in their first match. So Costa Rica were knocked out. Portugal, Algeria in Group M, knocking out Qatar. Chile, Slovenia in Group N, knocking out Senegal. Serbia, South Korea in Group O, knocking out Burkina Faso. And Group P, we had Belgium and Morocco knocking out Japan. So there were no surprises. And also I've looked at the fixtures for the second round, and there is not that much of a must watch clash, except for the case of Germany and France. Wow, I didn't even see that. Germany versus France, the two big teams, two heavyweights, are meeting very early in the season. uh in the knockout phase, the first stage of the knockout phase, the second round, Germany and France, Spain and Italy. Wow. So we are going to have some really huge favorites knocked out very early in the stages, considering the arrangements of how the groups were following each other. So Spain face Italy, that one is a huge match, to be honest. Germany France is the other one, which is very huge. Apart from those two, we have no other headline matches across the board. So let's see how these two are the most competitive of this stage, the most interesting ones to watch, and we'll see how the other teams will also play out as we head into that third round and then that quarterfinal. So since it is a triple header, no need to waste time. Let us just get straight on with things. And this is practically the lineup that I am going to take to face the Ukraine team. I've made a couple of changes. I feel like James Madison had a couple of assists for Tottenham this season, 7-3 in 34 appearances, and I've not yet tried using him in that attacking mid position, considering he has a vision of 16 and 16 flair. I want to see how he can apply that and see if he can really provide the boards that are building in for us. We majorly always play Mason Mount in the same position, who has some really good ones. He has a vision of 12 and 16 off the ball. I think he has some good positioning there, but when it comes to the attacking midfield position, you have to feel that James Madison is kinda really better. His decision making though is really high, and his composure for me is unbound. So against Ukraine, it's not a team we should fret against, though they are a good team, but we will see. My midfield pair for the first time is going to have Gallagher and Ward-Prowse, and I've left out Declan Rice because of his 1 yellow card away from suspension. I feel like the next match might be a huge one for us to be able to get into the quarterfinals. So so I want to spare him that yellow card for this match, and then see if the next match is a good one and play him in that one, so that even if he gets that yellow card, we will see how things will be going on in the semi-finals. Ben Chilwell is suspended out of for the next match due to that yellow card, and on our defense we have Alexander Arnold and Tino Livramento starting in Ben's place. Other than that, Saka and Sterling were a really good last match. He was really impressive for us against Jamaica. I think him and Cole Palmer were just a pair, a tandem that were good. I feel like I'll bring Cole Palmer later on in the match to just that Chelsea pairing, that affinity between Sterling and Palmer from that Chelsea's club were enough for us to be able to get past Jamaica with ease. So this is the lineup we are going with. Harry Kane definitely starting up front, never missing a Bukayo Saka on my wing, and let's see if Ukraine are going to put up that much of a fight to avoid us making it to the World Cup third round. So a couple of third round matches have been played, including one that has been played today. The opening match of the day was Argentina knocking out Jamaica. Alvarez with an 80th minute goal to send Argentina through, and Marcos Acuna sent off in the 92nd minute, and yeah, that one was that. Yesterday, a couple were played too, including Ireland knocking out Mexico. USA, the hosts, both USA and Mexico, who are the hosts, were knocked out. Ireland knocking out Mexico by 2-1, Austria knocking out USA, and Cameroon knocking out Brazil. Evan Nilsson pulled one back in the 94th minute to send this game to extra time. I think Evan Nilsson scored in the 94th minute, Zambangiza scored in the 105th minute. How did this game reach 105 minutes on normal time? There's something I don't understand about this match. Let us see what they mean. Evan Nilsson scored in the 94th minute. There was added time up to the 105th minute, which Zambo Anguissa scored to make it 1-1, sending into extra time, and Ngomo scored in the 112th minute to send Cameroon through and knock out Brazil. The first, wow. Brazil have been so unlucky in the World Cup, and this is just a description as to why. And Croatia knocking out Uruguay. So it is our time. We have a chance to maybe make it through or bottle it ourselves. Ukraine might surprise us, or we might get the better of them. Let's just hope it's not the second one. So let's submit the team and see if we can also cause an Ukraine can cause an upset, or we can get there all together. Purpose of all this the whole of this save game was to get that trophy they have. Zinchenko playing at Mikolenko, Modric. Wow, I forgot how good Ukraine were. I did forget how they had a really good squad. Well, we have won ourselves. Missing Ben Chilwell is not something entirely good for us, but I was saying that the purpose of the whole of this save game was to get England that trophy and then call it dibs on FIFA Manager 2023. Just preparing for FIFA Manager 2025, while I fully focus now on football. Football Manager 2023, focusing on, is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? A penalty while I am busy describing how I want things to go forward. I'm busy outlining the future of the channel, or the business plan that the channel has. Penalty awarded. Okay, so it is quite early. In the first minute, Harry Kane has a chance to put us a goal ahead. Does he do it, or will the keeper come clutch? Harry Kane simply slots it into the bottom corner, and we lead by 1-0 out of all odds. Because Saka tackled in the box, making it a penalty for us, and Harry Kane calmly converts, sending the keeper the wrong way, and that is a fire restart from England national team. I was saying that I want the channel to now focus on FIFA Manager 2025, the Bristol Lion Clans challenge that I am doing, while we wait for Football Manager 2026. Offloading this one will really give me a good chance at entertaining you guys more with the Bristol Ironclads Football Club, and solely focusing on that will make it easier. 13 minutes in, James Ward-Prowse with a corner kick for us, and that one Hurricane almost made it 2-0 just over the bar. We are headed for half an hour mark, and we have a highlight again. John Stones out into Trent Alexander-Arnold. He covers the width well. Nice pass looking for Bukayo Saka. Does he cut back? He does manage to do that, and Sterling's shot just spiked wide off the post. And one thing I also saw, guys, that this Mexican stadium is packed. 81,070 fans. Wow, and we are dominating this game. Well, look at our average positioning on the graph. At least we are high. We are keeping that good formation. I think Ukraine are a little bit jaded. I don't know what formation they're playing now, like a 4-1-4-1, I think. with Zinchenko holding it very, very low. Halftime, we lead Ukraine by 1 goal to nil. Harry Kane, the only goal of the game from the penalty spot. We had a good first half, 5 shots on target. They managed to get two, none on target. The XG 0.0 to 1.12 XG. You might feel like we deserve more, and I think I myself that we actually do deserve more. So let us see the second half. No changes. I am bent towards making. The whole squad looks okay, though Ben White is not having a real impressive game. I have no real change for him. My midfield pairing is not working out. I will need to change that sooner rather than later. Having Declan Rice on the bench, I think it can work out quite well. So let us start this second half, see if we can bring any shadows to this Ukraine team. And now we have Trent over a free kick in the 58th minute. He gives it into James Ward-Prowse, who lofts it in for Harry Kane to make it 2-0. But there's an outcry from the Ukraine players for an offside. Was Kane offside? He looked offside to me right there. Goal awarded. He is not offside. Harry Kane makes it 2-0 in the 58th minute. What a pass from James Ward-Prowse. That is the reason why I love that guy. His deliveries are always top notch. What is the outcry for offside for? He was very, very well onside. Never a hint offside. The defenders were the ones who were caught sleeping. And now I think it is time for that first substitution. Benjamin White is not enjoying his football, as just you can see, he has a yellow card and is really fatigued. I do have Fikayo Tomori on the bench, so I wouldn't mind bringing him on. And then I think it is time to introduce Declan Rice for Conor Gallagher, who, to be honest, is not really enjoying his game that much. And Trent has also been kind of quiet. Bukayo Saka has been really, really quiet. And I think it is time to make a change and see if Phil Foden can build up something. So I will maybe go for yeah, let's let Phil Foden play out wide. He always looks really composed in that position. And then I think I have two more substitutions left. Let us see where we will use those ones. Three substitutions to be made right now. There is a throw in on the other end. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the ball. Long throw. Tomori is tackled in the box, but Declan Rice introduced just right now, and he has made it 3-0 to England against Ukraine. What a throw from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Tomori does well to put it into Declan Rice, and the two substitutes combine to get our third goal. So we were missing out on a lot by leaving Deck out of the lineup. So that one makes it 3-0 to us, and we are definitely headed for the third round. This one is done, dusted, and complete. My final two substitutions, one of them I am going to use on giving Trent Alexander-Arnold a rest. He is not having it. Very professional from Reece James said that he was disappointed, but I think I am going to have to remove him out. And James Maddison and Sterling are not enjoying, but I have more issues to deal with in Ward-Prowse and Tino Livramento. And fortunately for Livramento, I have no other defender on the bench. Now this one I knew would come to be a problem at a point, but I think for James Maddison, he is not really, yeah, he's not getting hit well. So I think my final substitution, we are going to bring on Jarrod Bowen, sorry, and then switch James Maddison back and then leave Bowen onto the pitch for that one. So let us see. What process had a good game. A couple of substitutions done here and there. I could have done more, but I'm only limited to 5 substitutions. I have a really, really good bench of players here. Like Cole Palmer was an option, Mount was an option, Grealish was an option. There are more games. There are more games. They will get to play. The World Cup is not yet over. But this game surely is if we manage to add another one as the ball goes on forward to Phil Foden. James Maddison lifts it into Jarrod Bowen. Does he score from the bench? And Jarrod Bowen absolutely does that. You must wonder why I started James Maddison in the game for only his changing position to bring about that goal. So Phil Foden into Maddison with the assist, and the two combine to get that goal. Jarrod Bowen delivers on instant, and this game surely is over. Ukraine are going back to Ukraine, and they're going empty-handed. They did well in the group stage, but just couldn't make it past this good English squad. Full time 4-0. I think we have done our part. We have done our best. Three different goal scorers, four goals. Hurricane scoring twice. Declan Rice and Jarrod Bowen with the other goals. Our man of the match was Hurricane with a 7.9 average rating. Saka had a really dim game in this one. He's always good at getting man of the matches, but this just wasn't in his game. Sterling, on the other hand, also had a very, very low game. Even Foden, who came on as a substitute, did quite better than him, and it was not really impressive. But 4-0, we need to find out our next substitute. So everyone looks more attentive, motivated, inspired, very, very good. And Rhys James was struggling to miss the pace. This is the overall reaction I want from the team. The World Cup is not yet over. We have just beaten a poor Ukraine side. We still have a long way to go. 4-0 against Ukraine, and I think that one should place us in a good position to get ourselves a really, really good tie. So we are just waiting to see what is the next tie that we have. As KM was the player of the match, everyone is pleased with the win. We have so far beaten Congo, Jamaica, and Ukraine in the World Cup, and we are headed for a long, long run. So we are either facing Australia or Ecuador in the next match, as Argentina are facing Germany or France, and we are just going to come back in the next match and see who have made it through. So these games are really huge. So we're facing Australia or Ecuador, and I think those ones are really good fixtures that we may be able to make it to the quarterfinals with ease. And confirmation that we are facing Australia in the World Cup third round. They managed to knock out Ecuador, I believe they were playing against, and now we are the ones facing them, and we are going to Metlife Stadium in the US, a capacity of 2,500, a sold out ground, and everything is just going okay for us. As you know me, we always love to check if there were any upsets from the previous round. Let's just look at the second round results. Australia knocked out France, knocked out Germany with a 2-1 win. We have Spain knocking out Italy, Rodri with the only goal of that tournament, and Nigeria knocking out their African counterparts in Congo. Nigeria are a surprise package this season. Morocco knocked out Serbia, the second African team to make it through, and all other round there are no other big teams knocked out except the likes of Italy and Germany going out. So everything else is just very, very plaintive. Nothing much to discuss. But I think the third round holds a couple of good fixtures too. We have Cameroon facing Croatia. We know Cameroon have been a surprise package this whole season. Argentina facing France. This is a huge one. A replay of the real life 2022 World Cup final. In-game 2022 World Cup final featured USA somehow, somewhere. I don't know how that happened. But we have Poland against Nigeria. We have Netherlands against Spain. That is a really, really huge game. We have Portugal against Belgium. Wow, these are really, really huge draws. Morocco against Chile. So we are very fortunate to get Australia. Very, very fortunate. Hurricane is our club's top scorer with 5 goals, and I think he still has more to show. The line that I have for the Australian game, I mean, this is always the problem of having too many good players. You don't know whom to pick from, but I've just decided to go with the form. Some position that I've not decided to go with form is the left wing. I have not given Rashford a chance to showcase himself this whole World Cup quite well, and I think let's see if he does have it in him to perform at the big stage. Otherwise than that, we have Foden back in the squad. Jarrod Bowen will take Bukayo Saka's place, who is out suspended due to 2 yellow cards. Declan Rice starts for us alongside James Ward-Prowse. Rhys James starts over Trent Alexander-Arnold. Chilwell comes back in for Tino Livramento, and at the back for the first time ever, I am pairing Tomori and John Stones, and then Ramsdale ever present in between the posts. Big sorry to Henderson and Pickford picked them, but they haven't featured in any World Cup match, but they featured in a lot of friendlies. I think that's just how it always belongs. I have a couple of good players I've not given chances, the likes of Cole Palmer. Mason Mount is a really, really complete player that I've not yet given a chance. I still have the big stages to go to, and I think I will do need them in the big stages. Cole Palmer is also another good player. Jack Grealish shouldn't given that much of a chance. Jadon Sancho. Too many good players is always a problem for the referee, but for the coach. But let's see if this category of players will manage to do it. Let us head into the third round of the World Cup for our second match of the triple header. So would love to confirm that Cameroon are still on their run. They have knocked out Croatia. That is after knocking out Brazil after extra time, knocking out two huge opponents on their way to the to the World Cup quarterfinals. I would love to confirm that Cameroon are in a cruise of themselves. Austria, on the other hand, have knocked out Ireland and they have booked their quarterfinal places. So I think it is our time to be able to do that ourselves and just submit the team. Let us see if our players will manage to book us that quarterfinal position. So there is no need for us to get complacent, because for a team like Australia to make it this far into the competition means they are good. So we should not remain complacent against them. Let us head all in and fight this one for them. But the squad depth they have is really good. It only causes problems when it comes to player selection. I think Australia, do they have anyone I am familiar with? Absolutely not. That is much more of the same problem, because we don't know any of the players. We don't know how they're going to play. We do not know how good they actually can be. But the game has begun. Let's wait and see if our players are up to the task. John Stones into Ward Prowse, the first highlight of the game in the first minute. Stones into Rice, goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale. John Stones into Declan Rice, good ball. Foden into Kane, into Rice, into Rashford, back to Harry Kane. 1-0. That is a goal of the tournament contender, to be honest. That is a goal of the tournament contender. Look at that build up. It all started from behind Rice, back to Foden, to Harry Kane, to Rice, to Rashford, and then Harry Kane with that finish. That is a goal of the tournament. What is that? If I may ask my players, what? That is football at its best. And it's not yet over. Ward Prowse with a free kick from this age. And that one was John Stones, but it just goes wide. Thought that was the second one. We would have crushed this team in the first 5 minutes or so. Ben Chilwell with a throw in on this, and it's not yet even 10 minutes. Look at the time, not yet 10 minutes into the game. Chilwell, oh, that one is a poor giveaway. Rogic, but that one is a masterclass challenge from James Ward-Prowse, but they still go on. Marble on the run. Marble all alone tries to go for the shot. It is blocked, and that one is a poor giveaway by Devin. Jared Bowen collects it, and now we have the front foot. Harry Kane not being pressed down enough. Rashford, poor pass. It is intercepted initially. Rashford, what a switch to Jared Bowen. Poor control from Bowen though. Ball is cleared and it goes all the way to Marble, who has pace. This guy has pace. This guy can run. Out to Rogic, into Power, and Mason Power makes it 1-1. Never write off a team that has made it this far in the competition, and Australia have made it 1-1. They have equalized against all odds. Well, I thought this one was going to be a cruise. Nowhere near a cruise this one. Rogic, good delivery back into Power. Player who is a region, by the way, doesn't even have a game face. You say he has a region face on the park. I think he's a youngster, but yeah, 1-1 it stands at 11 minutes into the game. 25 minutes into the game, and Australia have a free kick. Goes all the way. Aaron Ramsdale does well to collect it from the head of Devlin. He now has the chance to punt it forward. Ramsdale, ball forward, looking for Harry Kane, who runs all the way, doesn't get to it, but Phil Foden does well to collect that one. Phil Foden down this line, gives it back to Devlin, and Ryan will clear that. Will clear it all the way to Power, but Stones collects, but Rogic into Marble. Oh my word, Marble's shot just over the bar. Are you trying to tell me that Australia are actually on course to knock us out of the competition at this level? Marble with a free kick. Oh, I came into this game. What did Ramsdale do right there? What did Aaron Ramsdale do in that situation? Wow, that this game was completely turned on its head. Australia are on course to knock us out. Marble into Hustich, and Ramsdale just saves the ball and leaves it and runs into the back of the net. Well, this game is really now getting out of hand. Declan Rice, kickoff highlight. Rice into Stones, back to Declan Rice, a chance to attack almost immediately. Kane into Bowen, the keeper is off his line. Bowen, you should have done better. What is that shot? You can see him clutching his head on that other side. What was that shot? You should have done better. Ben White to Reece James. Reece James goes back to Fikayo Tomori. Can we respond immediately? The second half begins. Declan Rice to Marcus Rashford, who has had a really good game so far, but gives that ball away too cheaply. Too cheaply. And the ball is cleared by Ryan. Power is below it. Ben White doesn't get to it, but Tomori does well to get to it. Reece James, my heart is pounding at this moment, to be honest. Reece James going forward. Nice ball into Phil Foden. And the Phil Foden, an assist from Reece James makes it 2-2. And that one is the response we needed coming into this second half. That is absolutely the response we needed. Going out at this stage would be humiliating. What a pass from Reece James, and Phil Foden just lofts it over the keeper, and that one is a beautiful team goal from uh, the players. So we are back in this. We are not out. We are still in this one. I've made 4 substitutions. I have 1 substitution left to use, but here comes Mabil. He has the ball, goes all the way back to Ryan, his goalkeeper, who will play out to Sota. Back to Ryan. Ryan lofts it forward, and Mabil is below that. Trent does well to get it back to Aaron Ramsdale. 10 minutes to go in the game. Ramsdale out to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent with a chance maybe to do what Reece James does best. Good delivery. That's what I'm talking about. Trent into Raheem Sterling. That is a picture perfect copy of the pass from Reece James into Phil Foden. This time round it is Trent Alexander-Arnold into Raheem Sterling, and we take a 3-2 lead with 9 minutes left in the game. Sterling does completely well. That is a beautiful goal from Raheem Sterling. I will give him that. That is a very, very beautiful goal. With my final substitution, I have in mind to bring on Cole Palmer to make this appearance and the final decisions in the game to save for Phil Foden, who is also getting a little bit fatigued. I know it's a little bit of a downgrade, but I think we have to do that. James Ward-Prowse is also one who was fatigued. I could have substituted him out, but let us see if we can help the deep midfield see out this game. 6 minutes to go. We are going to see out 2 minutes, and we are into the World Cup quarter finals. This was a hectic game. This was a very, very hectic game. We took the lead with Harry Kane. Australia just bounced back and took a 2-1 lead. We went into halftime when they were ahead. Phil Foden and Raheem Sterling in the 82nd minute with the goals to send us through into the World Cup quarterfinals. I'm very, very pleased. A very nice victory. Well done, guys. Well done, everyone. Wow, that was hectic. You just deserve to be praised for that one. That one was a really, really hectic game against Australia. That is something you guys very well deserve. Now it is time to find out our quarterfinal opponent and then our final game of the day. This one has been a really fantastic episode up to this point. I'm loving it. If this is going to be my last series, let's go out with a bang. I love this one, and let us see who we are facing in the quarterfinals up next, and if there have been any surprises in this third round stage. This is football at its best. Australia, respect to Australia. Well, final fixture of the triple header sees us draw Austria in the World Cup quarter finals. To be honest, I feel as if this whole World Cup draw has been very, very fair to us. Just seeing it from the group stage, we drew Ukraine in the third round, Australia in the fourth round, then Austria in the quarter finals. And just like we always do, let's see if there were any real surprises heading into this quarter final. What happened in the third round? Austria knocked out Ireland, Cameroon knocked out Croatia. We already talked about that. France knocked out Argentina by 2 goals to nil. This one was a very tight game, and France just came out the better people. Poland finally knocked out Nigeria. That is after. How did this happen after extra time? Did the game like go to extra time 0-0 or what? Yeah, Nigeria, I think they have been really, really good, and it's unfortunate they are out. And Netherlands knocking out Spain by 3 goals to 1 after extra time. That is just absolutely mad. Portugal knocked out Belgium on penalties, and Chile knocked out Morocco. So it is the end of the journey for the African teams. Well, they have done their best up to this point. They are okay. And now let us see the quarterfinals, which fixtures we have on our hand. Us against Austria, Cameroon against France. Now let's see if Cameroon will manage to knock out another powerhouse in France. They have been drawn against really strong teams and they have managed to get the better of them. So, but France is another beast that we know of. Poland against Chile and Netherlands against Portugal. So these are quite the fixtures for us to have in a World Cup quarterfinals. Austria making it to the quarterfinals is actually really, really impressive. Which teams have they knocked out along their journey making it to this segment? Even though they lost to Brazil 5-2 in the group stages, they managed to beat New Zealand to make it through to the third round. They have knocked out USA and Ireland, and now we face them. So this one is a really, really huge fixture for us. This is the lineup I am going with. One major sub change in the squad. Temi Abraham is going to start for Hurricane. Hurricane just looks a little bit jaded in stamina, and I wouldn't want to overuse him because I know in the semi-finals we might be facing Spain due to a report I saw somewhere. So I want Hurricane to have a little bit of a rest. We'll bring him on to play a couple of the minutes left in the last 45 to see if he can continue his scoring streak and take that World Cup golden boot. I would love him to have it. Saka is back in the squad. Phil Foden will maintain his attacking midfield from the last game. Jadon Sancho starts over Marcus Rashford, who had a good game but not the best, and is also a little bit jaded. In the midfield, Mount and Gallagher come in for Rice and Ward-Prowse, who are both suspended for the next match due to yellow cards. And we also have on the defense, Trent Alexander-Arnold comes on for Reece James, and also Ben White is out again due to his fatigue levels. I need him for a couple of the big matches left, and now Fikayo Tomori will start alongside John Stones for the second time in this tournament. And Ramsdale, always just Ramsdale in goal. So this is my lineup for the next game. No major changes done. I still have a couple of good players in the box. I would have loved to give Grealish this game, but he is lacking in sharpness a lot. But I think coming on as a substitute might be a good option. Cole Palmer over Phil Foden is just a little bit of a no-go right now. Maybe as a substitute to be able to allow Phil Foden to rest for the semi-finals if we will be making it through. And we also have a lot of these attacking midfielders that we can play as defensive midfielders and just switch up their roles and have them play as central midfielders on attack. So we will see how to do them. This game I feel is going to be a good one, and a lot of rotation is going to be needed. Let's see. As Austria up next, the final game of the triple header. Let's get straight into it. Well, Cameroon and France have already battled it out, and let me tell you, Cameroon almost made it through. Mbappe scored in the 42nd minute, Toto Ekambi equalized later on, and Kat Zuma in the 56th minute. But unfortunately, Cameroon's World Cup dream and fairy tale run comes to an end in the quarterfinals, playing against a very, very strong French side. So for us, we're going up against Austria. We are playing again in the Metlife Stadium. I think in all our competitions so far, we have played a good portion of them in the in the USA. We have only played very few in I think it's only one that we have played in Mexico, even though both of the countries are supposed to host the World Cup. I think Canada is also supposed to be on the list, but we have not played any game in Canada. There any games being played in Canada? That's the game just now between Mexico and the USA. So this is a huge game. Austria, and out of which they have the likes of Hook, Conrad Lima, who else? Nobody I know, but I think for them to make it to the quarterfinals, they must be a good side. Let us not lay everything down. We know we have a good squad. So Australia almost gave us a heartbreak last time out. It will be really painful to go out at this stage. Let us at least make it to the semi-finals, and I will call it a massive upgrade and a massive achievement for myself managing England in my final Football Manager 2023 save. So let us head home very well with this group of lads. And now we can see what we hold. Austria, by the way, have already had two shots in this game, one on target, meaning they mean business. So let's see if our players do mean business. To Sancho, into Mount, into Chilwell, who was overlapping as expected. Ben Chilwell looking for Bukayo Saka, intercepted, and it will be cleared all the way to Wimmer. Trent Alexander-Arnold misses his attempt, and it goes into Arnautovic. He has support, and Junior Adamu will open the scoring for Austria in this match. Wow. This was really, really unexpected. Just look at the build up from them. It was a poor attempt on the ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Arnautovic into Junior Adamu, who was wide open, just slams it past Aaron Ramsdale, and Austria take the lead in this quarter final clash? Well, I think there is work to do from this point, guys. We need to. What is happening? Are we not having anything in this game? Come on, guys, do something. Okay, so we have a minute till halftime, and Austria have just been the better side. I don't know what has happened to this English team as here comes John Stones into Trent Alexander-Arnold, all the way forward to Bukayo Saka, who has the support of Tammy Abraham. Saka goes alone, and Bukayo Saka makes it 1-1 heading into halftime. That is against the run of odd for Austria, unfortunately, because they have had the better game, but I will take it. Just look at the match momentum. It has all been Austria. I don't know what happened to the team. Saka does well, goes forward, and he goes all alone. I thought he was going to cut it back for uh, Tammy Abraham, but I think when you are struggling, it always needs the big names to step up, and Bukayo Saka definitely steps up for us. A little bit of a momentum switch towards the end of that first half, but one thing I should notice that Phil Foden does not have the strength to finish up what is left. Can I have Cole Palmer is nervous? Cole Palmer is nervous, and I don't think I do want a nervous player in the team right now. I wanted to give Palmer the chance to replace Foden, but I don't think that's something I'm going to do. Do we have? I was looking for Jared Bowen, but I can't seem to find him on the team sheets. Where is Jared Bowen? Has he gone back to? Has it flown back to England? I can't seem to find Bowen on the team sheet, so that one will force me to make a really impetuous substitution. I think I push Mount forward, and then I have James Madison replace Phil Foden. Wima to Woba gives it back to Sava, who goes all the way back to Daniel Luisic. Into Conrad Lema was a yellow card. Sava back to Daniel Luisic. Daniel Luke Daniel Luke, I don't know how to say that name. I wish into sense, but that is a good way for them to go forward. And Arnautovic to Junior Adamu, the goal scorer. Chilwell does well to get it away from them. Ramsdale lofts it forward, but it is going to fall to Aiwu, who goes back. Oh, that one was a poor pass. Temi Abraham, what do you do? Counters and gets the ball back again. Release the ball on time, Temi Abraham. Abraham on a yellow card into Jadon Sancho to Mount. Mason Mount from the edge of the box. Wow. Wow, what a finish. Talking about goal of the tournament contenders, we add another one onto the list. It was very scrappy from this position, but Temi Abraham gets it in to Jadon Sancho, who gives it to Mount, and from the edge of the box curls it past the keeper in the 49th minute. England lead by 2-1. I don't know how to tell you guys how my heart has been pounding in this game. There have just been massive momentum shifts, but the game is not yet over. 51 minutes into the game, Shava back to Woba. Woba goes all the way back to Daniel Lucic. It has been quite funny that all of these highlights have started with Austria on the ball. Seiswald into Junior Adamu, back to Aiwu, goes all the way out to Dedic, back to Aiwu. They know how to build from the back. Shava, he has people in front. That is a good delivery. He has Wima into Arnautovic. Arnautovic equalizes. Wow, this game is getting out of hand. Arnautovic makes it 2-2 to Austria. That it's as if every highlight in this game has had a goal in it. Shava, nice delivery over the top of Trent into Wima, all the way to Arnautovic, who slams it into the back of the net to make it 2-2. Trent has been a cause of 2 goals so far for us, and I think something needs to change if we are definitely going to get out of this game with something. What can the lads do from this point? Okay, with 20 minutes to go, I've made a couple of substitutions. Let's see if they will work out, but it doesn't work out when there is a throw in for Austria on this other end. Says World into the box, it is cleared. Thankfully, Hurricane into takes it well controlled and just jazzes it, runs, tries to get the ball to Mount, but that one was like more of a very useless pass. Fikayo Tomori back to Sterling into Madison. Madison lofts it forward looking for Harry Kane. Can he convert? And that is why we need our captain. There's a call for offside. Please don't let it be offside. Goal awarded. Thank you. 3-2. 20 minutes to go in the game. Wow. That's a good assist from James Madison. That's why we needed Harry Kane. Temi Abraham and the rest cannot seem to convert it when they play at striking, but Harry Kane just seems to have it in him. And our captain does well to conduct that with composure. That one was kind of very, very far from being offside, and we have 20 minutes to go. Can we hold on, guys? Hold on. Do we go back to balanced? I think we do. This is a very tough game. Well, at this point, I'll just wish that I have no more highlights in the game left. Fikayo Tomori, ball lofted forward. Bukayo Saka is in front on the front run for it. Delivery into Harry Kane, 4-2. Harry Kane, again, another call for offside. Can the referee just stop this with the VAR and all stuff? Does it stand? Was Saka onside? Saka was very, very well onside. That is a beautiful goal. That is a beautiful delivery from Tomori. Everyone was onside. Look at that. Saka, oh, it's about Harry Kane. And that volley from Harry Kane. Well, player of the tournament contender. What was the offside call about? Harry Kane's positioning before Saka delivered, he was onside. Absolutely. 4-2, and we might just be headed into the World Cup semi-finals against all odds. Austria dominated the first portion of this game, and now they have a free kick. What will happen? Arnautovic to take hit. Does he give Austria hope? Arnautovic just goes wide, and there, that was a chance. It goes wide. Ramsdale did not move. Last 2 minutes of the game. This is what we have been working towards. The World Cup semi-finals is in our grasp. Will we lose it or will we take it? There is not enough time for Austria to make any changes, and Harry Kane is going to come home as the man of the match. For me, I don't know for the game. Yeah, for the game too. Man of the match delivered with two important goals at the last minutes of the game. Well, you now know the reason as to why Harry Kane has been starting the games. Decided to give Abraham a chance, doesn't really do anything. Kane comes on, and Saka and Mount just fire up. That goal from Mason Mount was absolutely livid, really, really beautiful. And now we are into the World Cup semi-finals. Very well done, nice victory. Austria took the lead. We came back and we managed to get the best out of this team. And now, yeah, nothing much I could say about this. This was just unbelievable. This was absolutely unbelievable from the team and everyone else. Kane on fire. Harry Kane, I think the top scorer of the tournament now. Absolutely, with 8 goals. Hurricane stands at the top. Emmanuel Omega for Poland. We are going to face either the Netherlands or Portugal. I would love Portugal, to be honest. A very, very fiery semi-final, and now we have France facing Poland or Chile. The first good team we are going to face is in the semi-finals, and France, Poland, or Chile are going to have an easy one. Maybe France are already in the finals, to be honest, and now we have our chances. So I would love to forward and know our semi-final opponent, but that one will remain to be a mystery. Just as you can see, it's also a mystery for me here. It will remain to be a mystery. We'll see each other. If you want to know our semi-final opponent, make sure to subscribe. The next episode, immediately it drops, you will be able to know together with me. And the next episode will be our final one with the semi-finals and the finals if we do make it through to the finals. So don't miss out on this. We must go down and go out big. We have 2 games left, and we will have the World Cup in our grasp if we manage to get this team to that point. So subscribe, hit that like button. There is a mystery package for us left, and we will see what the mystery is if you only subscribe right now. And if you have enjoyed, hit that like button. See you in the next episode for the semifinals and the finals. This World Cup glory run is very, very in the pockets for us if we manage to get the best out of the rest of the games.